And we'll look at what happened with Sherratt and Petrie in minutes in a minute. But Josh Anderson mentioned in our own Habs Tonight interview with Drew Deeks and Nick Kyprios from Sportsnet, the fact that Josh Anderson is untradeable, the combination of speed, size, skill, that is something that we simply don't want to leave off the table as we rebuild the team over the next couple of years. And yes, I use the word rebuild. Do you agree with Nick that Josh is untradeable? This is one of the few pieces that we can hold on to going through the next season or two.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Nick did say, he did mention though, that if the right offer is on the table, something that you absolutely cannot pass up, like something that would move your rebuild forward by many years, then you kind of have to consider it, right? But if there isn't, then there's no point in trading him, right? Of course, you look at Arizona, what they're doing with their rebuild, they're just letting everybody go, right? Chychrun was their best defenseman last season, and he's going to be traded soon, probably. Dvorak gone, Connor Garland gone. So they just sold everybody. We're in a position where we still have really good pieces to build off of. So there's no need to trade a guy like Anderson unless a team overpays by a mile. Then, I mean, you kind of have to do it.
It's a big contract. And I'll ask you this, and Nick, if you want to comment on Josh, that's fine. But what about Gallagher? Is he also untradeable? I've seen rumblings on the internet, for what it's worth, that, he's sort of one of those core pieces they want to keep and not necessarily just fire sale away.
To touch on Josh Anderson quickly, I mean, if you would have told me a few months ago, if he's playing on the second line, third line, like he was at the start of the season, yes, he would have been a tradable asset for me if the price was right. But right now, if you're putting him on that first line and you see what he's capable of doing, no. And let's not forget, this guy is also a leader on and off the ice. He's got the potential of maybe wearing a C one day, which we still don't know what's happening with that. That's another topic. But for right now, untouchable unless it's an offer of a lifetime, like Shane said. Mm-hmm. As for Brendan Gallagher, obviously, Gallagher's the heart and soul of this team. We would never want to see him leave. Contract-wise, I don't see anybody picking that up. It would be pretty surprising. But Brendan Gallagher might not, we said this before the show started, he might not always be on your score sheet, but he's going to make those little plays or big plays that are going to lead to goals being on the score sheet. Yesterday with Mike Hoffman is the perfect example of going through, making those little plays, passing and setting it up against St. Louis. When he stopped that empty netter, didn't even crash in the net, purposely got up, led to Cole Caulfield tying the game. So he's also a leader in the room. He's potentially going to wear the C. There's so many little aspects from Brendan Gallagher that, for me, he's an untradeable. I know everybody's saying like, oh, he's not performing. Take a look at off the score sheet and what he does. He's a valuable asset to this team, and you're going to need to build around veterans if you're rebuilding. He's your guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little aspects for sure. I mean, not to use a pun, but Martin St. Louis, the whole concept here being, Gallagher, Cole Caulfield, not the biggest guys, but also the kind of mentality that Gallagher has is somewhat similar to what St. Louis played with, that raw energy, right? And that's the kind of thing where I think you got to have culture builders, that people maintain the culture. I think that's often why people say Carey Price, other than his skill, is just someone you need to keep because of the culture that he represents to that team. So really exciting to see if we can keep those guys, still build around them, and maybe not turn this into a slog like I think Phoenix will be, but maybe a 2 to 3 year turnaround with some continuity, bring in some new players, and try not to win too many games. I don't know. That's the one question here is how do we do this without, getting too good and having a 4-game win streak? But maybe we'll finish on that.